Hi guys! Welcome back to my channel, Ticking Together. Ugh. As always, the goal of this channel is to provide education about and to raise awareness as to what it's like living with Tourette syndrome. My name is Carly, I am 24 years old, and I was diagnosed with Tourette syndrome at the age of 12. So I've had Tourette's a long time. And my goal of this channel is to break the stigma surrounding Tourette syndrome and to make the world for people with Tourette's a better place. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about the swearing tics, the swearing phenomenon surrounding Tourette syndrome. This is something that I feel like is very stigmatized by Hollywood and the media, and I wanted to debunk some myths and talk about swearing with Tourette syndrome. So if you want to stay tuned to content about Tourette syndrome awareness, as well as some of my life stories of living with Tourette's for over 10 years, please subscribe to my channel and ring that notification bell to stay tuned to all of my content. So, what is a swearing tic? Why do people with Tourette syndrome swear? What is it? Let me tell you. People with Tourette syndrome sometimes have the involuntary urge to blurt out obscenities, socially unacceptable things, taboo phrases, or just belligerent terms, things that are not socially acceptable. And this is because Tourette's is a neurological disorder. Ugh, I got rice. Which causes people with Tourette's to have involuntary vocalizations and movements that are called tics. The key word here is involuntary, which means we can't control them half the time. So what we're doing or what we're saying sometimes is completely out of our own control. Ugh. So why do people with Tourette's swear? Well, there is actually a scientific kind of subcategory behind the swearing phenomenon in Tourette syndrome patients. The term for swearing or involuntary blurting out of swear words or like obscenities or belligerent things is coprolalia. Ugh. And with this, you can actually split it into its prefix and its suffix. So we have copro and we have lalia. Copro means feces or poop or shit. And lalia means to talk or speech. And so when you put that together, it literally means shit, talk, or like bad talk, poop talk if you will. And coprolalia is the involuntary utterances of these socially unacceptable things. And just to let you guys know, people with Tourette syndrome, the whole community of Tourette's, in that whole thing, only 10 to 15% of people who are diagnosed with Tourette syndrome deal with coprolalia, or the swearing tic. So it is actually very rare. It's not common with people with Tourette syndrome, but people in Hollywood and social media and the media as a whole have really latched onto coprolalia as a comedic thing, like comedic relief. People with Tourette syndrome are always the butt of the joke. And that's not true. That's not how it should be. In movies, in Hollywood, you often see the person in the film with Tourette syndrome as swearing, shouting obscenities, being very over-exaggerated and just very crude. And people do this for comedy. And this is awful because it makes the stigma of Tourette syndrome go so much worse because, as I said, only 10 to 15% of people with Tourette's have coprolalia. So realistically, the media and Hollywood, though they've latched onto this phenomenon, has made people with Tourette syndrome look like they all deal with this, when in reality, it's a rare phenomenon. Not all of us deal with it. And coprolalia is involuntary, meaning that we don't want to be swearing. We're not saying our innermost thoughts when we swear at you, or if we're just muttering swear words. Like, for me personally, I don't really deal with coprolalia. The odd time I will deal with a one-off coprolalia tic, which is very uncomfortable and I don't like it. But either way, regardless, we can't control these vocalizations no matter what they are. So if they're me saying, I got rice, or someone saying F off, realistically, both of these things come from the same place where we just can't control it. Something in our brain comes and is like, we gotta say this now, and we say it when in reality, we don't want to. And we face repercussions because it's something that comes out of our mouth even though we don't mean it. But how can we justify, oh my gosh, I didn't mean to say that, when we literally just said it, unless you know we have Tourette's. And explaining we have Tourette's is a whole other issue because of the stigma. So alongside coprolalia actually comes 3 other categories of COPRO tics. We have COPROGRAPHIA, we have COPROPRAXIA, and we have COPROSKEPSI. These are all subcategories of the involuntary obscenity kind of tic. So coprographia is actually the involuntary writing or typing or spelling of obscenities or swear words. And so yes, writing tics and typing tics are genuinely a thing, I know a lot of people come online and say that is not true, but there is research behind it. If you Google COPROGRAPHIA, you will see that this is a scientifically researched phenomenon. COPROPRAXIA, on the other hand, is the involuntary movements that are socially unacceptable. So for example, if someone were to flip you off, yeah, I have that one. If someone were to flip you off, that would be copropraxia, because it's the involuntary movement of something socially unacceptable. So this could include giving the middle finger, inappropriate touching, things that are just socially taboo with the body. Ugh. And finally, we have coproskepsi, which is a little bit less known. The skepsi tics are the mental tics, and those are very, very less known. So for example, I will get stuck on mental tic loops all the time. If you guys want to see more videos about mental tics, leave a comment and I will make more. But coproskepsi involves the involuntary thinking of socially unacceptable phrases or words that are bad or socially taboo thoughts that are like, oh my gosh, why am I thinking this? They really compare with intrusive thoughts and OCD. There's a very similar comparison there, but coproskepsi is something I deal with a lot, and it's not even like I'm thinking it. I'll just get words that pop in my head, like the F word will be on repeat in my head and I can't get it out. It's stuck on a loop and I'm not meaning to think about it. I'm not upset, I'm not angry, it's not my innermost thought, it's just my brain has been taken over by these mental tics. So there you have it. That is the reason that people with Tourette syndrome swear sometimes. There is a scientific reason behind it. There is a term that is dedicated to swearing involuntarily. And it's not something that everyone with Tourette syndrome does. As I said, it's a very rare part of Tourette's, and so the fact that the media has really latched on to swearing as kind of the comedic relief in movies with people with Tourette's just makes me really upset. And I want to get awareness out there that this is not always the case for people with Tourette syndrome, and it is a rare phenomenon. Ugh. If you liked this video and if you learned anything, I would be so grateful if you would give it a thumbs up and leave a comment down below saying hi, telling me what you want to see in future videos, or letting me know if you learned anything in this video. I would really appreciate to know, like, am I doing my job here? Am I educating? Or, you know, just say hi. I love hearing from you guys. I read all your comments and they genuinely make me so happy. I love the community in my comment section. Everyone is so supportive and genuine. And I want to thank you guys so much for engaging in my channel and my content. It means so much to me. Please subscribe to my channel and ring that notification bell to stay tuned to all of my content. I post about Tourette syndrome awareness, educational content about Tourette syndrome such as this, or some of my life stories living with Tourette's for over 10 years. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, we're learning together, we're laughing together, and we're ticking together. Bye!